class, this is section 6.6, and we are going to start with an example. So go ahead and put me on pause and take a few minutes to read the problem and look at the solution. Okay, so you can tell in this problem to find speed, and in calculus you'll hear me say velocity quite a bit, that the speed is the distance divided by the time. Okay, so distance sometimes you have to find by finding the circumference of a circle. Okay, so the other thing I want you to know is the number of revolutions of a circle will be the distance traveled divided by the circumference. So make note of that. The other thing I want you to notice are the units, and the days cancel out because you have day over days. So those cancel out, and that's how you end up with miles per hour for your answer. Okay, another thing that I want to talk about today is another mini investigation where there are two secants that intersect outside of a circle. And in this case, up here you can see angle X is formed. Down here they call it angle Y, and over here it is called angle Z. Okay, so how would you find the measure of those angles? So we are going to go into Sketchpad and do this investigation, but let's look at what we're trying to find here. The measure of an angle formed by two secants that intersect outside a circle. So open Sketchpad. And let's start with the circle. We are going to need some points in order to make secants. And of course I can move my points around. And I am going to construct a ray here. And then I'm going to construct a ray going this direction. Okay, so see, this is where they intersect, forming that angle that we want to figure out what the formula for it is. So I am going to highlight the intersection point and then construct those as segments. So I'm going to highlight these 2 points, construct a segment, highlight the other 2 points, construct a segment, and then I'm going to hide my rays. Okay, so let's measure this angle. Okay, so how is it that we could figure out that it's 50.79 with our arcs? I'm going to measure arc AC. And then I'm going to measure arc EF. And open up my calculator and show you that if I take the larger intercepted arc and subtract the smaller intercepted arc and then divide it by 2, I get the measure of my angle. So let's look at that. Here these secants are intercepting 2 arcs. So I've got the larger arc, and if I subtract the smaller arc and divide it in half, I will get the measure of the angle. So let's look at our conjecture. The measure of an angle formed by 2 secants that intersect outside a circle is 1/2 the difference of the larger arc measure and the smaller arc measure. Okay, so if we look back up here at our picture, arc SN is 75 and arc AE is 35. So I'd like for you to write out the formula, 75 minus 35 divided by 2, and tell me what X is. And then complete the other two as well. And we will talk about those problems in class tomorrow. We'll see you then.